With the country still reeling after two recent mass shootings, many conservatives and Christians are focusing on abortion and the dissonance our country has between the response to mass shootings and the response to abortion. Joining us now on the topic is constitutional law attorney Jenna Ellis. Jenna, welcome to Newswatch.
Thanks for having me.
Jenna, do you see this as problematic, this dissonance we have?
Absolutely. And, I think that Rush Limbaugh actually put it very well when he talked about a culture of devaluing the sanctity of human life. And when we as a culture don't understand how to protect even the smallest of these, and we have this culture of violence, it's not just the video games that you're talking about with your last guest. This is something that when we have such a culture that is glorifying abortion, and when we're saying, like there's a California bill to protect students' so-called right to access abortion, and they're holding signs saying make abortion great again. This is violent murder against human beings on a daily basis that is the most mass murder of human beings daily. And so when we have that dissonance between protection of the smallest lives, then we shouldn't necessarily be surprised when we have a culture that then will go out and commit mass atrocities against human beings. And so this is something where we as Christians really need to understand how to reach the culture with truth and bring God and truth back into the culture about why every human, from conception all the way until natural death, not medical intervention of any kind, then is what we have to teach and make sure that we understand that all human beings are made in the image of God and worthy of protection.
Jenna, how do we do that, though? How, as Christians and believers, how should we respond to this? Well, as you are, but how do we make it real to people?
Yeah, that's a great question. And often a lot of people ask me how to reach specifically millennials, that's my generation, and really confront people with these issues when they're just so completely, they have this cognitive dissonance. And I always say to ask people questions and challenge them with their worldview rather than just speaking truth to them and hoping that they hear it. Ask them questions about why they think abortion is okay, why they are so horrified by these mass shootings, but then ask them, well, what about abortion? And try to just ask these questions and confront their cognitive dissonance where they're at, because it's much harder to have to defend your own worldview perspective in wake of these types of headlines than it is to just sit back and reject and say, well, that's your belief and don't force it on me. So I think that as Christians, we need to stand firm. We need to speak up. We need to make sure that we're speaking truth boldly, even in the midst of this current culture that will make fun of us, that will, call us racist, call us bigots, call us, crazy names just for being Trump supporters. Talk about how this isn't about politics as much as it is about truth. And this is about what the evidence shows, science shows, that life begins at conception and that human life is uniquely made in the image of God and separate and distinct from any other life. And so we have to be willing to boldly challenge that, and then also pray that we can influence every person in our sphere of influence. Our church has to be active in our communities. We as individuals have to be active in our friend network. We can't just rely on Congress, for example, to put these types of measures in place for gun safety. Well, that's not going to change hearts and minds. We as Christians are called to be the light and salt in the world. We need to be going out daily and actually doing that and accomplishing it.
Well, you are doing it beautifully, Jenna. You're one of the best spokespeople I've ever heard on this topic, and I pray that your voice is heard loud and clear and that others follow suit. Jenna, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much, and I hope so too. Thank you.